So I just washed my hair and I don't know what to do to it. So we're about to get more products and we're about to figure this out. So yeah, let's get it done, y'all. Okay, y'all ready to see this? All right. So pick it out at the roots a little bit. That felt good. All right. I was asked by a certain someone, why don't I own my own business? Why don't I start my own business? And truth is, I wouldn't even know where to start, honestly. So that question comes by a lot, like a lot, and it's a lot to think about. And that's just something I wouldn't want to think about. Like, why don't you sell something online? On your vlog and stuff. Why don't you do like a become, sell something and do some stuff like that? I'm like, well, what if I say I didn't want to? That's the first time I answered like that. Usually I'm like, well, I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna think about it. And I just came out and was like, what if I don't want to? But I do know that like um, if I was to sell some stuff, I definitely would know that my products would definitely sell, especially at this time now. Know the new generation know a little bit something more than the older generation. We don't want to admit that. We don't want to be like, oh yeah, I feel like they don't never want to give the new generation no type of credit. It's all about what old generation experience more, this, that, and the third. The new generation know a little bit something as well, you know. So, so I definitely say, my product would sell, like my homemade hairspray, my homemade body spray. I'm pretty sure my product would definitely sell. But that's something I would take into consideration later on. Once I figure out how to even, you know, start or where to start, you know. Once it comes to me, I know it's for me. If it don't come to me, then it's not for me. So yeah, let's get into this retwist, y'all. I ain't did a retwist in a while, just because I haven't really felt like it. But yeah, my back. I don't really show my back. This is the back of my head. I can see. Then you about to start this retwist. I got one ponytail holder. Got any more? Got my clips. And yeah, let's get into it. Got my rubber bands. Need some more. Alright, so I got another rubber band. I got another ponytail. No, no. So what I'm be using is my braiding gel, edge, braid, and lock, maximum hold, Belitique. And yeah, we about to start on the back. Okay, so we are about to get into these locks. First off, my back is very thin. The locks are kind of thin right now, but the more I just add. I really don't. I stay with that lock. But if it's thin, it's thin. But there's this one lock that I wind up interlocking because that was a thing at the time, and I was always being told like um, if you really worried or concerned about your locks, interlock it. So I feel like that lock right there specifically just shows where I was at that moment, in that moment in time. I was worried, I was concerned, and I didn't really trust the process too much, and I wound up interlocking it. And as you can see, that lock has three locks within it, it kind of looking weird. A lot of my locks are going to look very, very weird, but they all definitely not the same. The lengths are very different, and what I do is um, when new growth come in, I don't mend it, I don't mix it with the other lock because I just didn't see how anybody, would be able to mix new growth with their lock because I tried it and it just doesn't make sense. It's not reasonable. It does not lock. If you have, let me know what you do because, like I said, the new growth mixing it into a lock that's already locked, it doesn't make sense to me. So I just take the new growth and I make the new growth into new locks. And I kind of, that is what I was always interested about. I'm like, how do people start with so many locks, but then it turns into more locks? Like those locks don't stay. If you started with 25 locks, you wind up ended up with like 50 locks, you know. But that's what it is you lock the new growth in. When as they come, you just lock them up as they come in. Like I said, it will be different lengths. That's why a lot of times I'll be looking at these locks and I'm like, what the heck? That person's locks is so perfect, but you can't worry about anybody else's locks because everybody uses different methods. No one's method is the same. Some are the same because they're learning and they're being taught, but truthfully, a lot of people have their own methods, and all lock methods, there are so many lock methods out here, some with tools, some with machines. So one thing is don't be worried or concerned about anyone else's locks when you start off your locks because it's going to drive you crazy. It's like going down a rabbit hole. You know, it's so many different methods. So you just worry about your own, mind your own, and just if you have any, concerns or anything, that's when you go on and ask other people. But that's what I learned about having locks is that even when you ask, you're not really getting an answer. Um, so yeah. Um, So in the middle of my head, I want to say that I did struggle with alopecia when I first started, and this area is a stress area for me. Everybody, because I'm like, and my stomach does a pain. So you walk in my direction, I go the other way. Okay, so before she even got to finish, because like when the song came on, I was vibing to them lyrics. So she was like, "I put your picture on my mirror. I took that down." That part had me rolling. Like I really want to laugh, but at the same time, I'm thinking like, so did Fantasia give her permission to rewrite the lyrics to that song? Because if she did, I'm surprised. I would not let anybody rearrange my lyrics or make some other lyrics, make up their own stuff to my lyrics because it kind of like I just said, it erased the original song from my mind and I had to re-look up her lyrics like, hold up, what did she say? Because now I'm stuck on what she said, you know, or I don't even know if that obviously wasn't Fantasia, but it's just like, did she give her the lyrics because I moved on? She basically said, you can rewrite, you can go ahead and do what you want to that song because that song is, that's a sign that she's moving on. But at the same time, I would not let nobody rearrange my lyrics or write their own lyrics to my song while my song is still in the midst of their song, you know. So it's just like I wouldn't allow somebody to do that. I wonder if she let her. But since there isn't copyright, she had to basically sign off on it. I wonder why she didn't. I mean, I wonder why she did. But that's the original. I like that song though. You know. So yeah, that's just my thoughts about it. Let's get back into it. That part, I was about to start rolling. Like I really wanted to laugh. Like what? He has their stressing points. I feel like, and that is um the part where I stress the most. So you can see there is new growth in this area coming in, and those are going to be, some of my shorter locks. But there's a lot of short locks all around my head. The length is not the same, and I don't know. I feel like that's a part. That's a traumatic part. I was told by my auntie that there is this product that I can turn to because it is in my family. So a lot of my family members has the same thing and struggle with the same thing. So maybe I can, can break that problem in our family. Um, so I might go ahead and see what she's talking about the product because I know exactly what she's talking about. Actually, it's the product called Sulfur. Um, it's like it's in yellow and white container. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna figure out what she's talking about with that product and apply it to my middle area. Whenever I can get out to the store, I will definitely do that. Um, but yeah, other than that, maintaining my locks have not been a problem. My problem areas are those stressors, those few locks that had been interlocks because of my those moments in time, and I'm definitely going to go get that software and see what is helping because she said that's what helped her. And so yeah, I need to go get some clips. I don't have enough clips. So what I do is I wind up retwisting partial of my hair, and then later on I go back and I do the other half. So this takes me a long amount of time, and that's really the reason why most times I just go straight into my protective style. I retwist it into the protective style because I don't want to be all day doing my hair. But that's the thing. That's the thing about having locks is locks. When it comes to the retwisting time, it takes a long, long time. It takes almost all day, depending on your resources. So you got a blow dryer and this and that. You sit under the. That's why people go to shops. Is because they sit under the hair dryer so that they can get it done faster. But if you're like me and you're doing it at home, it takes mostly all day because half of that day your locks are drying, and half of that day you're retwisting again, and most likely it won't be done until the next day. So that's my situation with my hair because I don't have a lot of resources and I don't go to the shop. So yeah, it's the struggle life for me. um, so as you did see, I did pull out my comb and I did retwist the new growth, and that's actually how I started it. I started my locks. I started with coils. Like I went in and retwisted with the comb using this specific product. Um, so yeah, so I am using a comb to retwist the new growth into starter locks into little coils. What I can say is that when you do this method, you have to when you start your locks just like this, you will have to like braid it up or put in some type of protective style when you wash it. And this product does hold your lock in place while it's being washed. So then, therefore, a few days later, a week later, you take it down and your hair is locked. And that's what I did. So just a little advice. And yeah, um, I'm pretty sure that's all I want to talk about. I wanted to say about this. So yeah, we're gonna get into the rest of this lock session, this retwisting session. And once my hair is done, once the part of my hair is done drying, I will let y'all, I will be back to retwist the other half. So yeah. All right, so these need to dry. And then we can move on to the rest because I need some more clips. I don't have any more clips. Okay, so I had to take them contacts out my eyes. They were hurting me too much. Well, they wasn't hurting, but I just get tired of wearing them. But yeah, it's taking a little bit too long. It's been about an hour, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish up just by drying it a little bit, and then I will go ahead and start the top. Alright, so what I'm gonna next is I'm gonna take each of these clips out, but I'm going to band them up.
Without you in my life, so far everything's alright. I know the day we meet, you will be the one for me. The synchronicity is how I know it's meant to be. It's no coincidence that you got everything I need. We fit so perfectly, we got that chemistry. What I've been waiting for, my missing puzzle piece. If I attracted you, I'm always attracting things. How come my superpowers don't work on you and me? I know that loving you gon' take some super strength. So how come my superpowers don't work on you and me? Now I'm attached to you with invisible strings. How come my superpowers don't work on everything? Cause sometimes loving you might take some super strength. So how come my superpowers don't work on you and me? You make me tell the truth, even when I don't want to. Even when I don't want to. My charms don't work on you at all, so it ain't no use. The synchronicity is how I know it's meant to be. It's no coincidence that you got everything I need. We fit so perfectly, we got that chemistry. What I've been waiting for, my missing puzzle piece. If I attracted you, I'm always attracting things. How come my superpowers don't work on you and me? I know that loving you gon' take some super strength. So how come my superpowers don't work on you and me? This is your la 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 lullaby. You're my baby, and I sing this just to show you mine. Gonna hold you till you're sleeping in the middle of the night. This is your la 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 lullaby. Closer than you think you are, always there inside my heart. Miss you when you're far away, like the stars in outer space. And no one will ever come between us. If you're the sun, then baby I'm your Venus. Wanna be the one you always dream of. This is your la 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 lullaby. You're my baby, and I sing this just to show you mine. I'm gonna hold you till you're sleeping in the middle of the night. This is your la 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 lullaby. When you're here inside my arms, I feel safe from any harm. You're like my comfort zone. When you're here, I'm so at home. And no one will ever come between us. You're the one I always wanna be with. Wanna be the love you always dream of. This is your la 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 la. This is your lullaby. You're my baby, and I sing this just to show you mine. Gonna hold you till you're sleeping in the middle of the night. This is your la 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 lullaby. This is a song to show you I care. To let you know I'll always be there. This melody, I give it to you. Every word is true, baby. This is your lullaby. You're my baby, and I sing this just to show you mine. Gonna hold you till you're sleeping in the middle of the night. This is your la la, this is your lullaby, my baby. Your la la lullaby, la 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 lullaby. Good night, sleep tight. This here is your lullaby. Good night, sleep tight. This here is your lullaby. La 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 lullaby. La 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 lullaby.
Okay. Here's the back. And now I let this sit. So yeah. Thank y'all for sitting with me through my retwist. And I will talk to y'all soon.